This is Newsbreak 26 in Southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. RCMP and St. Stephen say a body has been recovered from the St. Croix River following a search and rescue operation that began Saturday afternoon. Police say that around 2:35 p.m. on November 15th, officers on patrol spotted a man on Milltown Boulevard who was wanted on unendorsed warrants. In a statement to CHCO-TV, the RCMP said, quote, as police approached the man, he fled and was last seen entering the St. Croix River near King Street and Budd Avenue in St. Stephen and began swimming towards the U.S. border. While in mid-river, the individual appeared to struggle and then went underwater and did not resurface. Multiple agencies were called in immediately, including U.S. Border Patrol, the Canadian and U.S. Coast Guard, and fire departments from both St. Stephen and Calais, Maine. Marine units and drones equipped with thermal imaging were deployed during the search. On November 16th, RCMP's underwater recovery team located and recovered a body near the point where the man entered the water. Police have contacted the Serious Incident Response Team to conduct an independent review, which is standard procedure in cases involving fatalities during police contact. CERT confirmed it is assessing the incident and will issue a public update if it proceeds with a full investigation. The person's name and age have not been released, though family of the deceased have raised concerns about how the RCMP handled the pursuit while in close proximity to the water and are questioning the response. Our condolences go out to the family. The long-awaited replacement plans for the Passamaquoddy Lodge remain stalled, even though the proposed design reflects some of the most innovative long-term care practices in the province. The Development Committee, which has spent 7 years planning the new facility, is now turning to the public for support while the project awaits final provincial approval. Committee Chair Carolyn Davies says the current building, now more than 50 years old, was designed for a completely different generation of residents.
When the doors opened in '73. But it was built for different times, and a lot of people who moved there still drove. They could go down to the post office, they could go to the grocery store, they could take Sally in the other room out for a drive on Sunday after church. They aren't there now. The people in the lodge now are, in most nursing homes now, are generally quite a bit older and have a lot more physical needs and mental needs. That cannot be or met with difficulty in the existing facility.
Davies says the building's limitations have become increasingly stark.
When you go in and you see that they can't put doors on the bathrooms because a wheelchair can't get in there if there's a door on it, that's wrong. If you see somebody being lifted out of their wheelchair in the hallway then they use the lift to move them into the room because there's no room in their bedroom to do that. It's unsafe, it's undignified.
The new design focuses on smaller household groupings, private rooms, dedicated staff, and bright home-like spaces, all features proven to reduce isolation and infection spread. But one of the most innovative elements is the integration of 118 childcare spaces through the Passamaquoddy Children's Center, which will operate within the lodge complex. This intergenerational design is inspired by successful models across the country and internationally. The board has raised more than $600,000 for the extensive research and planning required by the province, but despite strong design feedback and widespread community support, the project remains stuck without a negotiated per diem rate and without provincial approval to begin construction. 2 open houses will be held on Tuesday, November 25th at the W.C. O'Neill Arena, where residents will be able to review updated plans, ask questions, and learn more about what the committee describes as an increasingly urgent need and how they can be of support. The first sessions run from 2 to 3:30 p.m. with a presentation at 2:30, followed by a second session from 5:30 to 7 p.m. with a presentation at 6:30. CHCO reached out to the Department of Health and the Department of Social Development for comment, but did not hear back by broadcast time. Finally, it's Smile Cookie Week at Tim Hortons across the country, and at the St. Stephen and St. Andrews Tim Hortons locations, proceeds go to Santa's Helpers on CHCO to help Charlotte County families in need have a happy holiday. A reason to indulge your sweet tooth for a good cause. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, visit CHCO and the Courier online at chco.tv.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV. New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.